Alright, let's get this going. Cameron uploaded a new addition to his Content Cop. I think it's like Content Cop. Originally, he made a Content Cop on DarkViperAU. I think he originally called this Content Deputy on DarkViperAU, but now it's Content Cop again. I'm confused. Cameron, which one are you going with? Apparently, Colossal's Crazy is in this as well, so that's fucking crazy stuff.
What we do here is go back.
This intro is actually so funny in the context of, like, if you've seen a normal Content Cop intro. Cameron, you're getting better with the Content Cop intros. You're definitely getting way better at them. He's making 14 pages! Okay, he's like licking his fucking keyboard and everything. I'm also gonna turn on captions. By the way, in case it wasn't obvious, I have this video on 1.35 times speed, not 1.25 times speed, just because this video is like an hour and 6 minutes long. And there's other stuff I want to react to today, so, listen, I'm not trying to be, I want to get through this video in good faith, but, it is a pretty long video to get through, so. Wait, what the fuck did that paper say? I missed that. I don't even know what the fuck that said. It was on screen for so quick. What was it? Bro, I guess this is... response from DarkViperAU, it's a toilet. Oh, okay, the joke is that it's 14 pages long and he's got like a fucking... That's the joke. Okay.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Today's episode will be a bit different compared to what I would normally do for a Content Deputy, which means that I'm going a little bit beyond Dark Viper's actual response to my Content Cop because, you know, he was like half the video. Now, before I start, I want to throw in a few little disclaimers specifically for Matto, so, you know, he can listen to the video without any worry. It may not make sense yet to you, the viewer, but...
I don't know who the fuck that is. Is that the Matau, or... Do you mean Matan? That one guy who had, like, Amaranth on his show or whatever? I don't fucking know. He's, like, kind of a troll.
Just keep it in mind.
I don't fucking know. I don't know who he's referring to.
This is not a life story or fucking documentary on Dark Viper. I'm not gonna attack Dark Viper, first of all. 14 pages drama. That's a little played out, and according to Dark Viper...
Well, yeah, I mean, you already made, like, a whole Content Cop on it. It was the Content Cop on empaths. I thought that this was supposed to be a Content Deputy episode. I was so confused. Am I going crazy? I swear that this was, like, called Content Deputy at one point. Now I guess Cameron decided to make it a separate Content Cop episode.
Might be a little context missing that we can cover. Instead, I'll use it for some comedic relief. And just because I will be making some harsh jokes and some hyperbole at Dark Viper's expense, that does not mean I think Dark Viper is Satan himself with a heart full of doo-doo feces. I especially won't be calling him autistic. He really doesn't like that.
Rather than making a video and then...
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like you should call anybody autistic with a negative connotation, Cameron.
Just liking all these people that suggested that my less than cordial responses to you were evidence of my mental illness and autism.
I question if this is like an actual, like, authentic, like, moment to moment he's having on his stream. It's like, I don't know. I feel like DarkViperAU could have been like a great GTA speedrunner streamer, but instead he just decided to get involved in all this drama because he just kept responding unnecessarily to all the crash outs, and like he kind of just made it worse for himself.
Now that we've all got our binkies in, let's talk about Dark Viper's interesting response to my video. There's a lot to cover, and contrary to what Dark Viper might think of me, I'm actually not here to smear him or ruin his life. I've actually enjoyed some of his GTA content over the years. I'm here because of his insufferable rambles towards critics or people he perceives are lying about him, which have bled into his content, and that sucks. By the end of this video, I aim to show that Dark Viper has got a basic and long-running pattern of behavior. He'd probably respond with, well, some of these issues where I acted like a child were resolved with the people I whined about, so you can't criticize my behavior, which obviously is dumb. Like, just because the content conflict was solved doesn't mean your behavior and by proxy your content is all of a sudden fixed. But before we go there, let's dive into his responses to my video. The first one came in form of a now deleted community post / tweet where he talked about why he does not want to respond to my video using the most vague terms possible.
Oh, what the fuck is happening? Okay, I gotta turn off the captions. Maybe Cameron will read it. I'm gonna skim through it because this is... Jesus Christ. It's a typical fucking Dark Viper response. I'm not reading like a whole paragraph. Response video to drama creators. I mean, do we know that this is like actually in response to the first content cop that you made on empaths? Because like I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, who fucking knows if like he could be referring to any drama videos. I guess maybe he's referring to yours. I don't know.
This post is really bad, and so is the stream that came after, which he turned into an also now hidden video. Did he remove this content because he saw the glaring hypocrisy of responding to a video by going on a rant about not responding to my video? Who knows? Now, as much as I'm sure that you'd love to hear me read every word this schizo clown wrote, where he owns me with facts and...
Bro, come on. Didn't you say you weren't gonna insult DarkViperAU? You called him a schizo clown, Cameron. Come on. Come on, man. You can't, like, prime your audience like that and then just, like, do the thing that you... I don't know, man. That might come across as a little bit like, but, you know.
Logic. Let's say, hypothetically, that you were 14 pages. I feel like that might get a little boring. If only there was someone... Clown. Clown. I'm gonna call in some backup.
Oh? Colossal is crazy. I haven't fucking seen Colossal is crazy in, like, forever. Bro, the last time I heard of Colossal is crazy was, like, during the commentary days, and what was it, the Baited podcast? I think that was, like, another one before the Baited podcast ended.
I saw some of you expressing worry that I will make response videos to drama creators. I want to explain why that won't happen for those of you who don't know much about me. Drama channels do not traditionally relay factual information.
So true, Dark Viper.
At best, they present...
Drama channels are always trying to sensationalize everything. I guess to an extent they kind of are, but you know, that's kind of the name of the game, boss. Weren't you doing that with Willie Mack when you were responding to Willie Mack's videos? You were like putting Willie Mack in like a fucking criminal suit or whatever the fuck you call it. Like he was like trying to get a mugshot of Willie Mack.
Dramatized and exaggerated accounts of people and events for entertainment. At worst, the people and events they cover do not even exist. Truth isn't the goal of these videos, nor what their audiences are seeking. Therefore, showing the falsehood of anything said has no impact on the next drama video. The same false information gets copied over, usually with a twist or further exaggeration, and a new fiction is added to expand the story. Each fiction feels credible to the viewer because it has a similar vibe to the previous one. This pattern takes advantage of something called the illusory truth effect.
Dude, imagine actually like sitting down and like reading a fucking DarkViperAU comment. Like it's like actually making me fall the fuck asleep. Like he's just saying the same thing over and over again in like each paragraph. Like reading a DarkViperAU comment is like, if you've read one paragraph, you've read the entire thing basically.
Where hearing something repeatedly makes it feel true, even if it isn't. My response videos...
Bro, I have this on fucking 1.35 times speed and it's still really slow.
...are not traditionally targeted towards drama creators. I made an exception for Willie Mack Show, and I explained why I made that exception in the series. In line with expectations, despite through him showing that everything the drama community says about me and my life is false, it hasn't stopped them from repeating those same falsehoods or inventing new ones.
I feel like the more you respond to it, Dark Viper, the more content you give them. That's kind of like the way it is. Like, listen, I have my own snarkers as well. Very recently, I didn't even think I would have snarkers. I'm just a fucking guy in like with like a weird wolf profile picture. That's one of the default profile pictures on YouTube that just does react content. I do like some of the laziest content on fucking YouTube, and apparently that's enough to have snarkers, I guess. So I don't know, man. Like, listen, the trick is that you can't fucking respond to them. You give them more content if you do. Like, literally, you don't owe these motherfuckers anything. You don't owe them shit. Don't fucking respond to them.
Where appropriate. They have further not publicly condemned him for his lying, which has showcased for the few not already aware that they understand the game they are playing. Early in my career...
Bro, I don't know how I could have this on 1.35 times speed and it's still feeling very slow. I'm tempted to, like, kind of, like, get through this. I'm not gonna lie.
The online image of DarkViperAU.
Sorry, I'm not, like, I just want to make it clear, I'm not actually trying to get through Cameron's video, like, in an inauthentic manner, but it's like he's reading this so fucking slowly.
Roughly matched a more
Is that why this is, like, an entire segment? I guess, I don't know, whatever. We might as well get through it authentically. I was tempted to skip it, but I think we might as well just get through
who
it.
I actually am. Now, the vision invoked in some people's minds often bears little resemblance to me or my life. As I've laughably shown in my rambles, I sometimes don't even understand the root of what's being attributed to me. Back when misinformation came from honest mistakes, I could correct it to some extent. These days, the source is usually people knowingly lying for profit.
Yes, because Willie Mac Show is known for lying knowingly.
People who are simply delusional. I can therefore have no real impact.
When's Willie Mac gonna upload his next video? Has there not been enough drama to talk about? To be fair, Willie Mac's kind of just been, like, uploading, like, this fucking Ethan Klein drama that's been happening throughout this entire year, and the Ethan Klein drama's a little bit repetitive. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to, like, engage in the slop every once in a while, but, like, the drama this year has been constant Ethan Klein, constant Hassan's orbiters. It's been, like, the same thing over and over again. I think a lot of people are kind of just tired of it, and they want to, like, move on to, like, other shit, because there's, like, so much other stuff that should be talked about instead of just, like, the fucking weird shit that was happening. October was an insane month for drama, though. I actually think October was definitely one of the most insane months in drama, like, ever. Like, we had the Hassan shock collar thing, we had the Emaru TwitchCon stuff, we had the Emaru Mizkif situation. We had more TwitchCon slop. We had, like, some other political stuff that was happening. We had the Cinder document. Like, I really come to think of it, October 2025 was fucking nuts when it came to drama. We were eating good that month.
As I cannot change the
Also, views were pretty damn good that month, too, I gotta say.
fit motive for fiction or fix anyone's underlying issues. There is a demand for fictional stories about me, and there are those keen to meet that demand. I occasionally run across people who seem confused when, after seeing me or my work elsewhere, that I don't act in line with their expectations. They conclude I must be wearing a mask. I think this idea is more comforting to them than questioning if they've been duped. To the degree that I still point to these falsehoods.
Alright, no offense, Cameron, this is fucking boring as shit. Like, I love Colossal is crazy and everything, but, like, I literally have no commentary I can give over this whatsoever. Like, this is just, I'm sorry, I have to skip past this. I have to skip past this. This is, like, fucking, I can't. Like, it's just, like, it's boring the shit out of me. Sorry, Cameron, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm sorry to Colossal is crazy. I actually like Colossal is crazy a lot, but, like, we gotta move on. Like, because I'm watching it on 1.35 times speed, and it's still fucking extremely slow.
A simple no would have sufficed. Am I shocked?
Yeah, a simple no would have sufficed.
No.
No kidding.
Oh, not at all. I knew he couldn't help himself but to respond, but I also realized he'd probably avoid addressing any criticism whatsoever by trying to dodge it completely. What's worse about this post and his subsequent stream is that because of the fact that he was so vague about me, he gave himself a potential out for it not being about me. Obviously, we know it's about me thanks to him not being able to help but call me out on the slightest inconsequential mistake I made while giving an extremely brief rundown of his early...
Well, did he actually call you out specifically? Because, like, I skimmed through the post, and maybe he called you out directly, I could be wrong, but, like, did he actually, like, say Cameron F305 by name, or was he just, like, indirectly, like, referencing you? Is that just an assertion you made?
Career. He started as an atheist channel where he debated Christians, and then he went on to this freeboot gig where he was basically upscaling different debates and whatnot until...
Oh yeah, this is from the Content Comp Empaths. We saw this video, by the way. Guys, if you haven't seen my reaction to this video, I would highly recommend it. I reacted to it in October. Funny enough, October. This was another one, the Content Comp on that Cameron made. Link in the description below, if I remember.
It eventually got demonetized for, you know, stealing content, which is very ironic.
I actually heard recently that apparently I once upon a time had a channel where I debated Christians. That, of course, never happened. But as I say, it's stuff that's so long ago that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, you sure got me.
Oh, okay. I can see how Cameron came to the conclusion that it was like Dark Viper was referencing it because fucking Cameron referenced it in his like Content Comp Empaths video. Okay. Okay, I got it.
I misspoke about your first and second channel by mixing the two up. I'm man enough to own my mistakes, so let me correct the record.
To be fair, though, debating Christians is kind of based. Like, when you really think about it, Cameron, like, there's a lot of, like, Christians that have religious psychosis, like Charlie Kirk did. Again, I'm not trying to shit on Charlie Kirk's death. What happened to him was terrible, but, You know, like Charlie Kirk had religious psychosis. He said that, like, you know, if a 12-year-old gets pregnant, she should be forced to carry that child. Make her go through all that fucking pain from her rapist's kid, I guess, which is a form of religious psychosis. So yeah, I think debating Christians do be kind of based.
Started out talking about politics and religion. Then on your second channel, you hosted Freeboot Atheist Debates, where Christians were often being debated. I wonder who else could make such a terrible mistake about your early career.
What do you mean terrible? I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like debating Christians is not really a bad thing. As long as you debate the ones who are, like, part of, like, organized religion or have religious psychosis. Like, listen, if you believe in God, that's a beautiful thing. I don't judge people who believe in God. If you believe in God, don't use it to justify having hatred of groups of people. If you believe that a God exists that may have created this world, that there's like some sort of purpose, and you like feel normal about people, and you could separate your faith side from your actual like worldview and your like actual like intelligent and logical side. If you could separate the two, you don't have religious psychosis. That's totally fine to have. Totally reasonable. If you believe in a magical apple curse where Adam and Eve ate an apple and suddenly it hurt to give birth, and suddenly that we're all like the products of incest, and that like pedophilia is justified according to the Bible, or that a fucking child should give birth to a child, like a fucking child should give birth because the Bible says so, you have religious psychosis. Those are two different things. If you think that being gay or trans is a mental illness because the Bible says so, you have religious psychosis. That's just like a reality. And so, like, if DarkViperAU was debating all the bad ones, that's totally possible. I don't know. If anything, I actually feel like that content could have been, like, good, more than anything.
Started my career online in, discussing social, political, philosophical ideas, debating them with people. It's hard to imagine me in my 20s. As shy as I was, actually debating people, like, by voice and shit. That one debate I did with Destiny was, like, the most... That was kind of like I'd been streaming for a bit.
Oh. Word. Anyways, he's clearly...
Did he actually debate with Destiny? I wouldn't doubt it, although I don't really care to look it up because I don't really think Destiny is a particularly good person.
Talking about me, or at least it's strongly implied, as these responses seem to have spawned from his Reddit talking about my video, sounding worried that Matt might see it. Now, these responses heavily mischaracterized me. No shocker. In everything he attributed to me, there was never a chance for me to potentially be correct because he gave me the label of drama creator. He even gave the banger line of, drama videos contain no real criticism as they are too divorced from reality for that to be possible.
It's interesting because, like, DarkViperAU really... I mean, like, I try not to use the word lolcow too much because, like, lolcow has kind of become, like, a buzzword online. Like, people kind of just throw that word around and it's kind of lost meaning. And so people just, like, call somebody a lolcow just for being at the face of controversy, which is not true. But, like, DarkViperAU really, like, I'm not even trying to, like, use it as a buzzword, but he really does come across like a bit of a lolcow here. Like, he doesn't understand how he comes across to people. He keeps responding to criticism over and over and over again. And he constantly is, like, responding to drama unnecessarily. It really is getting to a point where it's like, Dark Viper, you really are becoming kind of like a lolcow. I'm not gonna lie.
Obviously, that's a load of shit. I gave plenty of real criticism in my video, and thanks to this awful response and plenty more factors, I have a lot more to talk about. In my conclusion, I'll try to answer what Dark Viper just doesn't seem to understand about why he gets a lot of shit from people. He said a lot in that response document. Thankfully, he adds to it in the 2-hour-long stream he made about my video a few days later. Now, he repeats himself a lot in this VOD, so if you'd like to see the full VOD, I'll link that and any video I bring up from Dark Viper in the description. Normally, I wouldn't do this because I don't want to get accused of sending in a brigade, but I also don't want to give our pal Matto an excuse to bitch about context.
I don't know who the fuck this Matto person is. Who the fuck is Matto?
So, let's dive into his response stream and see what else he has to say about me. I cannot wait to see what you have to say about me, Matto.
It's 14 hours!
Oh, is Matto the real name of DarkViperAU? I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna just, like, see. Just because I'm curious. Ah, DarkViperAU's real name is Matthew Judge. He's... Okay, so Cameron's just saying it in, like, the silly voice. Oh my god. He's fucking Shoe-on-Head's age? He was born in 1991? Why the fuck do you keep responding to drama online, then? What the fuck, dude? Oh my god.
There has been a wide variety of videos made by people who don't know much about me, but decide for a variety of reasons to speak on me and my career despite that. There are some difficulties.
I mean, that's been happening to you for years now. Like, Willie Max already made videos on you. It's like, you're kind of just like at a point, Dark Viper, where you kind of just have to like get it together and like, oh no, people made videos on you. Like, that's kind of just like part of the territory of being a content creator. Sometimes people like, listen, I'm just saying, if you're a content creator and you put content out there and you have like content that is worthy of criticism, people are going to make videos criticizing you. You made the choice to put public content out there publicly. People are going to say whatever the fuck they want about it. Like, I have snarkers that go after me. I just started uploading on this channel not too long ago, like less than a year ago. Suddenly, I already have snarkers after me. Do you see me whining and bitching about it publicly? No. Like, it's like you don't owe these people your attention. Like, respond to it once if you have to, maybe twice if you really have to talk about it again. But, like, otherwise, stop endlessly talking about it. I feel like so many content creators really just don't know how to deal with controversy, like 101.
Been doing this because I have been around for like 15 years. And because of that, a lot of information about my life is simply not there.
I do know who you are. I think you've made good GTA content over the years. Now, do I know your whole fucking life story? No. And I don't think I need to. I'm not making a fucking documentary about you. I was criticizing your shitty behavior that has bled into your content.
But despite these difficulties, these videos still get made. And consequently, they are wrong on almost every aspect.
Oh my god, wrong on every aspect. Do you care to, like, actually name drop the video you're referring to?
Consequently, I can't criticize you because I don't know your life story.
I just find it so interesting that DarkViperAU feels the need to fucking respond to drama and, like, respond to a specific... He's obviously referring to a specific video, and I wouldn't doubt that he's referring to Cameron's video, but, like, why not just, like, name the video at that point? Like, if you're responding to a very specific video with very specific points, why don't you just watch the video on stream? Why don't you, like, actually, like, react to it on stream? And why don't you, like, say why it's wrong? If you really want to respond to it. The fact that you're even responding to this at all is, like, kind of just not there. I would be more privy to you not responding at all because, like, I feel like it's just not worth it. But, like, if you really, really wanted to respond to it, why not just name the video at that point? Like, it's not like people are... Like, if there's a specific point, like, surely you shouldn't be afraid of people knowing about it, right?
What fucked up logic is that? Do film critics need to know the backstory of its creator to criticize a film? I hope not.
Some of it is pure malice. Some of it is legitimately the people knowing that what they're saying is false and just making it up anyway. Or knowing that they don't have any information, and because there is no such information available, they just make shit up, knowing that they can't be contradicted. A significant purpose of this series I made on Willie Mac Show was to demonstrate that drama creators do this. They know they're doing this and they just don't care. But I have to grant that there are some people out there who are genuine and do want to speak on my life and my career, but simply do not know that there's no actual information available out there in the wild about those things, and consequently, unknowingly get things wrong entirely.
So there's no in between?
What? I just, like, is the criticism that, like, that information just isn't available publicly and people just get shit wrong? Why not just fucking name the video that you're referring to?
No room.
I'm so confused why DarkViperAU, like, I can't, how do you fucking name drop a slop creator who did it to you and then still be fucking vague about it?
For critique, he echoes this message many times. He said the same thing in the tweet and other videos he's made about drama. It's very clear he doesn't understand criticism or is maliciously characterizing critics so his fans don't actually listen to them. I also love how my benefit of the doubt is, oh, maybe this idiot isn't genuine. He's just too stupid to know the truth. Fucking asshole. What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
One
God damn it, Cameron.
drama creator will invent a fiction.
I guess it wouldn't be a content cop video made by Cameron if it wasn't him fucking endlessly drinking. Bro, that legal drinking age for you, Cameron, is really... It's done a lot of heavy lifting for you. It's okay. It did a lot of heavy lifting for me, too, when I turned your age.
And another one will copy that fiction because it's faster and easier than making their own. And the third one will believe it, actually believe it's true because he saw it in true drama videos. And then they will expand out these fictions over and over again. And I'm going to touch on in the other post. I have no way of stopping this.
Of course you can't stop this, right? So you're telling me that there's some deep state of drama creators who just copy each other's work, which you claim is all made up, and nobody but you has discovered this. Okay, jokes aside, he's basically implying plagiarism, which is funny because the reason I decided to cover Dark Viper had yet to be covered by any drama creators. Cyberboy did attempt to call him out on this, but as I said in my first video, I didn't know much about that situation and hadn't seen his videos, which is why I didn't cover it, but today that will change. The only drama videos I did watch about you were the ones made by the British Runner, which covered nothing of what I was criticizing you for, but it gave me a solid rundown of your past dramas, and if I decided to bring any of that up while introducing you, I gave my own take on it after getting myself familiar with the facts through my own research. That's why you'll see me give some different opinions, like when I gave you credit after Charlie got some stuff wrong when covering your React document. The only thing I have since changed my stance on a bit is the fair use defense with Chud logic. Not because I don't think Chud's reaction was transformative, I do, but for legal reasons after doing my own research into React streamers for a separate video. I'll come back to this point very soon.
I made an exception.
I'm a little bit confused on that, but I trust your interpretation of it. Maybe you will come back on that.
for Willie Mac Show and explained why I made that exception in the series. In line with expectations, despite that through him I showed that everything the drama community says about me and my life is false, it hasn't stopped them from repeating those same falsehoods.
Is he reading the same shit that he fucking posted? Dude, like, why not I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Why not just refer to the fucking video you're talking about? Dude, it's actually, like, irritating the shit out of me. Like, it's driving me nuts. Bro, just say the video.
Preventing new ones where appropriate. They have further not publicly condemned him for his lying, which I showcased for the few not already aware that they understand the game they are playing.
This is a really fucking stupid argument. So, just because you have a negative interpretation of one guy, he now represents everyone? And anyone who wants to criticize you must condemn the guy you don't like? Buddy, this isn't Content Cop Willie Mac. Maybe if I hypothetically made...
That's a Content Cop Rice Gum reference there. I caught that. Listen, I used to watch iDubbbz back in the day. That's why I kind of, like, can understand and appreciate Cameron's interpretation of Content Cop, because there's a lot of references to the old Content Cops, and what he just did was like a line from Content Cop Rice Gum, or was it I think it was the Content Cop Deputy that iDubbbz did on Rice Gum back in 2017.
one, sure, I'd call him out for not watching 24 hours of your React content as if that was relevant to your current position on reaction content. But that won't happen, because not only do I not blame him for making that mistake, but he's also not nearly as malicious or insufferable as you clearly are. As you could probably already decipher from the tweet and the video so far, it lacks any nuance or chance for anyone who criticizes DarkViper to be anything but malicious, which I would consider a malicious way to frame critics, ironically. He doesn't really like criticism.
Back when misinformation came from honest mistakes, I could correct it to some extent. These days, the source is usually people knowingly lying for profit or people who are simply delusional. This is bad phrasing. I mean people who are deluded, in that they themselves have been taken in by these people. They think they're honestly communicating facts of situations, but they have just been watching drama videos.
So why don't you actually cite the points that are bad? You're just going on about, oh, it's false, it's false, it's false, but then you continue to fail to actually address how it's false.
The only things they know is complete nonsense.
Dude, the main video I criticized you for was directly from your channel. If you were talking about my rundown of your past controversies, again, I was just going off common knowledge and was sure to verify shit before I gave my take. DarkViper loves to accuse people of lying about him. He throws it around quite often. So I'll propose a question to DarkViper. Matt, what is this?
I can't give an individual hand-holding for every grifter or every person naively spreading false information about me.
Oh my god, it's just so annoying. So why even respond to it at all then? Like, why even bother fucking responding to it if you're not even gonna address the specific points that they're getting wrong? Instead, you're just being vague about it. And he's just vague posting to his audience. This is so fucking... It's that's what I'm talking about. It's he continues to be a lol cow, and I really don't think he understands that constantly responding to it is not going to help. Surely, DarkViper, the next response will get him to stop making drama videos on you for good. Surely, when you respond one more time, surely that'll get it to stop for good. It's always just one more time.
One of the more recent ones, the guy DM'd me on every single social media platform, begging me to respond to him, to tell me why he was wrong. Can you imagine me spending...
Wait, okay, Cameron, if he's actually referring to you, that is a little bit, kind of silly. I wouldn't really do that.
Literal months of my life, explaining in intricate detail all the things that he got wrong already in videos. In some cases, spending thousands of dollars to do this. And the person literally...
Wait, hold on.
Already.
Oh my god. Wait, so he's there's all the information wrong. 45-minute video, 40-minute video, 4.5-hour video, 2-hour 14-minute video, 2.5-hour video. Bro, not gonna lie, DarkViperAU, this is a typical response. The total duration of this playlist is nearly 11 hours, if you want to get caught up on all of it. Incredible stuff. Incredible. That's, asking a normal person to do that is not worth it. Now, I get wanting to put out, a comprehensive response. I did that when I was dealing with my controversy, so I put out, a long response, because it's a compendium of information of, oh, that's false, here's why that's false, or, oh, that's a little bit sensationalized, I'll point to why that's sensationalized, right? I understand wanting to do that. It's probably better if you do it in the form of a video and not, a fucking Google Doc like I did. But still, I think it's important to not just do whatever the fuck this is. This is really, I don't know, man. You're doing too much. You're responding to the drama too much. Nobody has 11 hours worth of time to get caught up on DarkViperAU lore. I certainly don't.
In videos. In some cases, spending thousands of dollars to do this. And the person literally just not...
Spending thousands of dollars to do this? Where'd you hear that from?
Watching them. And that person then concluding they deserve...
that's bold of you to assume that people care about you that much to fucking, spend thousands of dollars on you.
of a personal handholding and a personal explanation of my entire life and all the things they got wrong simply because they presented misinformation on the internet. Can you imagine how psychotic, deluded you have to be to think that?
I swear on Hassan's life, I pray you're not talking about me.
I thought he was about to say, I swear on Hassan's ballsack.
If you are, you're lying.
I mean, I was about to say shock your balls, but, you already did a little bit of that, Cameron. You did so much of that it's in my thumbnail. It's the thumbnail caption of that video, of the K9 unit video you did.
Now, it's true that when you made your response post, I quote tweeted you challenging your assertion that I lied about you, and you didn't respond. I also decided to reach out in DMs because if I was horribly misinformed, I wanted to know what I got wrong. Believe it or not, I'm not in the business of smearing people. Half of what I do in these videos is call out hypocritical content. I never demanded for your life story, just for you to corroborate your claims against me. That's the only platform I ever attempted to communicate with you on. I never reached out on Twitch, Instagram, Discord, fucking Blue Sky, or anything like that after you ignored me. I don't know who else you could possibly be talking about.
So wait, what was the point here? It was like,
I never demanded. I'm not in the business of smearing people.
oh, interesting. Okay, so you just DM'd him on Twitter, but you never DM'd him anywhere else. Hello, I saw your tweet. I wanted some clarification. If I knowingly lied about you, I'd love to know where. If I was a lot more charitable towards you than you've ever been to people you respond to. Everything I said I backed up with primary source while researching. These things don't come from nothing, and there was a ton of direct criticism. I will give you credit for taking a day instead of going impulsively going guns blazing at me. Just so you understand, I'm not here to fuck up your career or ruin your day. My videos are meant for critique, and while we have a bit of fun overall, the end is meant to give some constructive feedback. Disregarding critics isn't the right move, especially writing those in good faith off as liars. I mean, that's a fair point to message him. I think after this, Cameron, like, I will say, if what Dark Viper said was true, where you message him on, like, any other fucking platform, that wouldn't be a great thing to do. That'd be kind of bad, actually, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I feel like just leaving it at this message would be totally fine. Just as, like, clarification. I don't think that within itself is harassment. That would show that Dark Viper would be exaggerating if that part wasn't true.
Misinformed, I wanted to know what I got wrong. Believe it or not, I'm not in the business of smearing people. Half of what I do in these videos is call out hypocritical content. I never demanded for your life story, just for you to corroborate your claims against me. That's the only platform I ever attempted to communicate with you on. I never reached out on Twitch, Instagram, Discord, fucking Blue Sky, or anything like that after you ignored me. I don't know who else you could possibly be talking about. If I'm missing something and you can prove this isn't about me, then I'll concede. But otherwise, you're essentially accusing me of harassing you, which never happened, and you can get away with it because you're a pussy and you're being vague.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm just, like, being so... I'm, like, so annoyed because it's, like, DarkViperAU is, like, he's doing a non-response. That's what I'm going to refer to it as. That's what DarkViperAU is doing. It's a non-response. He's not actually responding to Cameron. He doesn't want to refer to Cameron, but he still wants to respond to it because he's obviously deeply butthurt by it. And he needs to learn to not be butthurt by it, especially when you're a content creator and, like, people are well within their right to criticize you if you're worthy of criticism. Like, you're the one that decided to put yourself out on the internet. Like, people have a right to make streams or make videos on you as much as possible. And there's not really much control you have over that, so... yeah.
I find it very ironic how he's been saying that he doesn't want people to get their idea of him from drama videos, then insists I watched 10 hours worth of his drama videos to get the right idea.
Explaining in intricate detail all the things that he got wrong already in videos.
No. You literally could just, like, watch the fucking video and then, like, respond, like, while you're reacting to the video. Or you could just not respond at all, preferably, instead of just, like, stop being so butthurt about it.
In some cases, spending thousands of dollars to do this, and the person literally just not watching them.
Look, Pip, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
The best part about this is the fact that none of these videos have anything to do with my main point of contention, which was calling out his moral posturing about empathy. But since he insisted, I took the liberty of watching 13 hours worth of DarkViperAU videos to see what I got wrong.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, Cameron actually took him up on the offer. I could never.
Well, after watching several hours worth of Dark Viper content, the content he was responding to, and a few additional videos he demanded people watch in those videos for even more context, I gotta be honest, I concede. To absolutely fucking nothing. Are you...
Got him!
Kidding me? None of this shit applied to 99% of what I covered in my video. I think there's only one thing that even slightly moved the needle for me, and it was hearing his current position on React content. More on that soon. Because none of this really covers the moral posturing I called out in my original video. Looks like we have a whole new host of topics to cover, and if you're worried we won't go over my original points, don't worry, it'll all come together. Like I said before, I generally agree with the idea of most things in Dark Viper's original document. I just also think it's highly flawed. I won't relitigate this because Dark Viper
It's 14 pages!
will just say, oh, you're going over a script that was, but then wasn't going to be a video, and some of those I changed stuff, blah, blah, blah. Which, fair enough. Even if you've been dishonest about that, I'll be fair. I still stand by my criticism of the date rape analogy, despite what he...
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. That was fucking insane. Like, comparing React content to date rape was fucking insane. Like, I feel like that, like, communicates to me that, like, Dark Viper is a little bit sheltered. And, like, maybe, I don't know. Dark Viper communicates to me as, like, one of those kids in school who was, like, a little bit antisocial, and then he got, like, a platform online and found, like, an outlet. And I guess maybe he just, like, considers any bit of criticism he gets as, like, a form of bullying. And maybe that's why he responds so much to it, because he wants to feel like he's in control again, because he didn't have control, like, when he was in school. I feel like it's, like, a result of that or something. That's just pure speculation on my part. I don't know if that's true, but that's kind of the read that I get on him.
may say now, he still continues to defend the comment by saying it's not a one-to-one comparison and it's only slight hyperbole.
When he crops off the next tweet where I explicitly say that I do not think reaction content and rape are the same fucking thing or equivalent in any way. Gabby's gonna put this tweet on screen to—
Well, I don't know. I mean, you kind of insinuated it in your 14-page document that you always cite, no?
misrepresent it a lot. Not only is her interpretation of these words incorrect, but she's also cropping off the next two tweets. One where I directly call these words hyperbole to mean that I'm exaggerating and this should not be taken literally, and I made another tweet specifically for dishonest people like Gabby, where I say, I'm not saying that rape and reaction content are akin to each other. I'm sure she just left those off by accident. But despite this, in my entire 12-year career, this one reply 3 years ago is the main thing that Woody wants to highlight from it. And he can't even be honest about it, lying now about it twice and excluding information if it hurts what he's trying to say.
Like, literally look at directly what he says. He outright says it is hyperbole, but only slightly so. The difference between actively ignoring consent for financial gain is not so far removed from ignoring consent for sexual gratification.
It's fucking insane. Like, that's like such an insane comparison. I'm sure listen, I'm gonna explain the difference to you, DarkViperAU. One inflicts lifelong trauma to somebody forever, and one does not. Hope that helps.
Slight? Since you doubled down 11 months ago, you can't use the 3 years ago defense here. Also, this proves I was exactly right in my original interpretation. I used the word comparable, which doesn't mean I claimed you thought they were the same thing. You just think it's only a slight hyperbole, which is still insane and worthy of criticism. You'd be much better off acknowledging this criticism as, like I said before, most of your takes on React content aren't all that bad, and you'd have a lot more respect in this space. Instead, you refuse to accept criticism and you play a semantics game. I'll go into this further when I eventually drop my video on React streamers, but I don't think my assessment of Dark Viper's views were that far off. Some of the ideas feel fucking extreme, as it could negatively affect critical analysis of videos in a live setting.
I am the rights holder. Of course I'm going to take down the things I don't like that serve no constructive purpose and keep up those I do like or serve some purpose. While I do take down all full re-uploads of my videos, for clips, it depends on the usage. This particular clip exists for no other purpose than to allow people to disingenuously attack me with it because of the mistake I made when mimicking Franklin due to my surprise at the randomized dialogue.
Since I didn't give much detail into my more nuanced take on the Chud logic strike, I'll do it here. I think it was a bit wrong of me to imply that Chud's upload of his segment was totally protected under the fair use doctrine. To be clear, in my opinion,
I didn't really go through Chud Logic's coverage of DarkViperAU, so I can't say for certain whether it was or wasn't. So I don't know if there's much of an opinion I can give here.
and as well as many others, Chud's video was transformative and could have stood on its own against Dark Vipers, protecting it under the fair use doctrine. Sure, it partially is, but there are other parts where it gets kinda gray. I think Chud transformed the video substantially with his criticism.
Okay, is this cited from Dark Viper's document? Is that why it's like a Google Doc-esque thing here? Okay. Chud's video was 3 days old and had less than 5K views when removed. Chud's reaction was 2 weeks after original video was posted. The original had 59K views. Chud played Viper's video for... what is that? Is that 9 minutes, 23 seconds, 52 milliseconds? Or is that 9 hours? I have no idea what the fuck that is. I think it's supposed to be 9 minutes. Chud commentated for 24 minutes and 35 seconds. Total segment was 35. Yeah, okay, so I mean, it was transformative, right? I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, generally speaking, whenever I watch Chud Logic, like, I don't think Chud Logic, like, listen, you can criticize Chud Logic for being too edgy. That's kind of why I don't watch Chud Logic, because I think he's a little bit too edgy for my liking. But, like, I feel like Chud Logic does give transformative reactions. Like, he actually does give meaningful commentary. He does acceptable commentary, right? Where he actually does transform the video in a meaningful way, and he gives his, like, own commentary and spin on it. So he doesn't actually, like, Chud Logic doesn't strike me as somebody who maliciously steals views or even, like, sits down through a video and says nothing.
However, several other factors covered in the fair use doctrine could make the segment gray, despite the fact he tripled the video.
Like what? Like how?
Length. Thankfully for our case, DarkViper's take on React content doesn't have anything to do with fair use.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like, but here's the thing, right? Like, fair use is like a whole can of worms that, like, I don't feel like having an entire conversation on fair use. Because, like, there's so many technicalities and there's so much nuance when it comes to copyright law. Typically, how it works is if there is, like, any sort of copyright lawsuit that happens. I think Chud Logic lives in the UK, so I'm not sure how it works there. And I'm not sure how copyright law works in Australia, because that's where DarkViperAU lives in, because AU. So if they were both to get into a lawsuit, I think typically what would happen is the court would determine, okay, how much is he commentating on, how much of the video is played, how transformative it is, and then they sort of like meet in the middle somewhere, right? Like, I feel like typically speaking, that's like how the courts usually settle it. Maybe it's easier to prove in the UK, because I know things can be easier to prove in the UK than the US, but I'm not like fully educated, so I could be totally wrong on that.
In my work, multiple times, I've specifically laid out that my criticism of reaction content has nothing to do with fair use.
Now, morally, in this instance, I think a DMCA takedown is extreme. And no, Dark Viper, it's not because I'm friends with Chud Logic. I'm not. We've never once spoken. It's because I don't think there's much, if any, audience overlap. And it did add crass but valuable criticism.
Yeah, and listen, you should never DMCA videos. I feel like that's, like, one of the worst things you can do. And that's, like, a lesson that's been proven time and time again on YouTube. Like, the most recent example I can think of was I Love Kim Possible a lot, or KP. She, like, people were making videos on her all the time. Luckily, I was not among those people, but I know Internet Adjacent and Cope and Seethe were making videos on KP, and they were fucking essentially KP, I guess, just didn't like that she was becoming so fucking hated by the community for all the false allegations she gave on people, so she started falsely copyright striking people. But you know, if you know how the Streisand effect works, that usually never works out for you.
In fact, Dark Viper actually agrees that there isn't much overlap from his community and the drama commentary community, as he states in his response to me.
There's two parts of the internet here, right? Here is drama creators in here. Here is GTA content and people watching it. And here's like the tiny overlap that this has. But I'm in here. So I see all of this and I see all of this. And I recognize none of this fucking matters.
Should Chud Logic...
Why even bother responding to this? Like, it's just like, he took the time to open up whatever, like, Photoshop or whatever the fuck to make, like, a Venn diagram about, like, drama or whatever and, like, actually trying to, like, educate his audience on shit. Just fucking make GTA content, bro. Just fucking go back to making GTA content. Be entertaining again. Stop fucking responding to drama so much. It's so annoying. It's annoying. Like, dude, you're not fucking... Like, you're not going to change these people's minds about you. Like, actually, the only way you're going to change people's minds is by actually fucking making content again and, like, taking the criticism into account.
Have stolen Dark Viper's thumbnail? No. Was Dark Viper legally in the right to take this segment down? Honestly, probably. Although, I'd say probably not if we were talking about the entire stream. And do I think he would have done this to a complimentary reaction? No. Why?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's proportionate. Even if you, like, use a thumbnail of somebody else, like, you don't see any DMCA takedowns of, like, a thumbnail, like, ever. The only time a video gets taken down for, like, a thumbnail is if it's, like, sexually explicit or something, or if it has, like, a slur in it or something. But other than that, like, if Chud Logic's segment on DarkViperAU was transformative, then no, he wouldn't. So I am a little bit, like, I might disagree with Cameron on this point. It might be valid legally. I don't fucking know. But, like, based on all the information I'm hearing, it kind of just seems like... It seems like DarkViperAU should not DMCA the stream. It just seems a little extreme. And also, he's going to Streisand affect the fuck out of his situation if he does that.
Well, he kind of let that cat out of the bag himself while talking about his other uses of the DMCA system.
I am the rights holder. Of course I'm going to take down the things I don't like that serve no constructive purpose and keep up those I do like or serve some purpose.
Yeah, so that's not how fair use works whatsoever. You're just taking down a video because you don't like that the video exists. That's basically his argument here, and that's not how fair use works. Listen, people are well within their right to critique you and use footage of you as long as it's transformative and they're not infringing on your copyright. That's really it. That's really it.
While I do take down all full VR...
And also, not for nothing, but, like, if you're streaming yourself playing GTA, you don't own the game of GTA. Like, yes, it is your content if you're playing the game yourself, but, like, the gaming... Like, half the content you're making is playing a video game that's not yours. The only content you add is your commentary and then your webcam on the bottom right corner.
uploads of my videos. For clips, it depends on the usage. This particular clip exists for no other purpose than to allow people to disingenuously attack me with it because of the mistake I made when mimicking Franklin due to my surprise at the randomized dialogue.
I also think throughout all of these videos, Dark Viper is pretty bad faith towards Chud logic. Now, maybe he's just giving Chud the same energy back because Chud was crass, but when I see clips like this...
What is valued as if a creator is being critical or analyzing a video, significantly adding to the runtime?
Significantly adding to the runtime.
Wait, what? What does that mean? I don't even understand what he means by that. What difference does that make? How is that a different thing? I don't understand the difference. Why does that make a difference?
It's just some out-of-context blurb from Chud to make it look like he had no real commentary on the video he was reacting to, which, after seeing Chud's reaction, I know that's not true. I just think it was a bit over the top to spend $3 grand on a lawyer to take down 2 videos from a much smaller channel, one of those videos just being a VOD, even after YouTube said no twice, just to prove a point against a critic. A lot of...
That's fucking crazy. It really goes to show that, like, like, these videos really do get to DarkViperAU. Like, it's like, that communicates to everybody online, oh, this is getting to you, so that's gonna Streisand affect the fuck out of your situation, and more people are gonna make videos on you. And that's really the problem, is that, like, you really need to... This is why, like, it's important to understand as a content creator what criticism is valid and what criticism is not valid. What criticism you should receive and some you should not receive. That is an important thing to do as a content creator, and you can do too much of either direction, basically.
His reasoning lacks nuance, and again, I'll go into my take on reaction streamers and the whole market impact in a future video. It's a topic I care about. While copyright law in relation to reaction streams can be ambiguous, what shouldn't be ambiguous is injury law, and that's where today's sponsor Morgan & Morgan is here to help. Emerging reports reveal that some hair color products may not come with clear warnings about potential health risks. If you or someone you know have been diagnosed with bladder cancer or other cancers after prolonged exposure to hair color...
Hey man, you guys know it. We always watch all the sponsors as much as possible. I think the only time I ever skipped a sponsor was like when I was watching a financial audit video, which was kind of a mistake. I probably shouldn't have done that. But mainly it was because like financial audit episodes are very long and I try to like get through it. But like, you know, from here on out, I will do my very best to get through all the sponsors. We gotta watch all the ads. You know, we're reacting to the video. We gotta watch the ads.
Morgan & Morgan is here to fight to get the compensation that you deserve. So
hell yeah, Cameron got a Morgan & Morgan sponsorship? That's pretty based.
why wait? It only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case, and you can do it all from your phone. Click the link in the description to learn more and see if you qualify. Thanks again to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. Most of what Dark Viper asked me to watch in order to dismantle all my arguments were the Willie Mac videos, but honestly, most of the shit didn't apply to me. I went through the effort of annotating each point he made, and most of them had nothing to do with me. So, for the sake of time, I'm not going to cover this whole back and forth in its entirety, but you're free to watch it all in the description. Despite that, I will still respond to certain points that either apply to my video or are a part of what I'd like to cover today, while trying to be as fair as possible. And then afterwards, I'll give my little take on this whole squad.
It's just me, or is there like a lot of mic popping that Cameron's having? I guess maybe Cameron didn't realize it until like post-production, and maybe he like, I don't know. Maybe Cameron has to, like, look at that or look into that.
A lot of Dark Viper's rebuttal to Willie Mac is saying that there's a lie without actually showing anything. It takes him until his second video to even show any substantial context to what he's talking about.
There are points where he makes claims, then shows a clip that immediately debunks that claim.
Viper said,
okay, give an example.
Ethan memeing him saying,
it's like every time Dark Viper constantly says like, hey, you know, they did this thing, they were like fucking disingenuously saying this to me, and then they like don't actually, he doesn't give any like examples of anything. Like, it's like, show us a fucking example of something.
14 pages has traumatized him.
It's 14 pages!
Because one of my favorite people on the internet, Dark Viper, 14 pages!
I don't think Ethan is a very good person, and he's using a soundbite of one of the most traumatic, angry moments of my entire life for me.
The fucking traumatic is insane. It's like, okay. It's just like, it goes to show, like, DarkViperAU is like he's like a terminally online, like, what, 34-year-old at this point? I think he's like 34 years old at this point. But yeah, no, like, he's like uber terminally online, and he's like really, he just like crashes the fuck out at every time somebody like makes a fucking drama video on him. He really just does not understand how he comes across to people.
Many years on his stream, perhaps 100 times.
Yeah, Dark Viper really was sheltered his entire life. That's the vibe I get.
It's a bit more than excessive, and very sick.
Why was this traumatic for you? You're angry over nothing.
Like, how was that not interesting to people?
Fucking blink and you'll miss it. Wow. Woo! You really got him there, Matto. Okay, Willie fucked up by claiming that Ethan playing those sound bites was traumatizing to you, when it was actually the drama between you and Charlie where you went on the rant screaming about the 14 pages that was one of the most traumatic moments of your life.
Did Moist Critical talk about DarkViperAU? I'm gonna be real with you, I've never tuned into the DarkViperAU drama until like Cameron F305 made his content cop on empaths. And, like, I've heard bits and pieces about Dark Viper before, and from the very little that I'd seen at the time, I'm like, why do you keep responding to this? That's, like, my overall take. Like, from an outsider, and I think that really demonstrates, that communicates a lot that you need to know about Dark Viper, is that he just does not need to fucking respond to this as much as he does.
You realize this is just as pathetic, right? And inconsequential to Willie's criticism of you being a crybaby. Like, it's very malicious to frame this as some example of an evil lie to make you look bad, when it was just Willie misspeaking while covering your video on Ethan. It is for sure a mistake on Willie's part, and that's fine to criticize, but is this really your big claim?
I could absolutely destroy Willie.
Then do it, pussy.
I don't think anyone that I can lead to this video wouldn't realize immediately that the video is false. You guys know.
Oh my god, it's the same shit over and over again. It's false, it's false, it's false, it's false. Okay, tell us why. Prove why. Or don't respond at all. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop being so vague about it. It's, like, so annoying.
Enough about me. Even people who've been following me for like a week would know enough about me to know this video is false, at least to some degree. Those who've known me for a longer period would be able to go, well, actually, I was there for that. That's entirely false.
My audience knows me too well. They know better than to watch these videos because they already know they're wrong. It sounds like a manipulative way to make your audience avoid these videos.
Because within the context of the essay, they make sense. You can call them harsh, you can call them extreme, but what you can't call them is the idea that watching a YouTube video that someone else made on a live stream is somehow the same as rape. There are so many actual criticisms you can make of this draft that make—
Well, you definitely implied that they were synonymous with each other.
sense. I mean, Carl made them all the way back then when we talked about it for like an hour or two.
Here's the problem. I think there's a better way to do it. If you want to make that analogy, remove the content creators from it. So what you've done is you've basically said, I'm going to make this analogy by saying that these content creators have the same kind of philosophy. But you don't need to do that at all. You could just say, here's an example of something to demonstrate my point, and you remove the content creators from it. For example, you just say, if someone, some random person...
See, like, it's just the fucking Billy Mitchell lawsuit and everything. Like, listen, I feel like this would have been a productive conversation with Karl Jobst if Karl Jobst didn't get himself into that fucking lawsuit with Billy Mitchell and completely destroy his credibility in, like, a single lawsuit. Now, I don't think Karl Jobst is, like, beyond repairing his reputation. I feel like he can repair it to some capacity, but, like, I don't think that, I don't know, it really fucked up his reputation. That lawsuit was insane. The fact that he like made up that big lie that just completely destroyed his credibility on the lawsuit, and he got people to donate to the lawsuit under false pretenses. Just really, it's crazy that he, like, one colossal fuck up that we thought was going to be a slam dunk turned out to just not be a slam dunk.
Just thinks they need consent after, right? That's wrong. You can sort of make the analogy that way.
So you hear and agree with the criticism of your shitty date rape analogy, yet you continue to defend it when it's not criticized right? I showed the full context and stated your current belief earlier, and I still had criticism. I'd love to find out how that's also still somehow invalid. DarkViper criticized Willie's use of old clips of DarkViper crashing out because it lacks the context of those things being resolved. I think while that context is important, it doesn't change the fact that it's been a pattern of behavior. I'll have more to add to that later. Now, let's get to something that could actually apply to me.
His argument isn't that some reactors are bad, it's that they're all bad.
Wrong! 0 points!
Wrong? You quite literally said it yourself.
We can in fact ignore the last 3 years, all the things I've said and wrote since then, all the clarifications, all the nuance, and we can just go back and get one clip from the video when I was talking to Charlie. Moist could have—
Bro, holy shit. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like,
all the things I've said and wrote.
Look how fucking pale he is. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I don't make fun of, like, somebody's appearance. But, like, look how pale like, this literally communicates that he is so unbelievably sheltered. I'm a little bit terminally online myself. But holy fuck, like, this goes to show, like, DarkViperAU is incredibly fucking sheltered. Like, I genuinely feel like he doesn't go outside enough. If this is the kind of shit that he constantly does. He doesn't ground himself enough. He doesn't have anybody to ground him in the real world for him. Like, he just, like, he got famous, and I guess maybe, I don't know when DarkViper got famous. Like, maybe he got famous a while ago, and he just, like, his maturity, like, declined since, because that tends to happen a lot when people get famous. And then he just became super terminally online. Like, what? Dude, this is fucking insane. Like, this does not look healthy.
Since then, all the
I don't know, bro.
clarifications, all the nuance, and we can just go back and get one clip from the video when I was talking to Charlie. Moist could have—
Like, again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's like, I don't know, maybe take care of yourself a little better. Maybe prioritize you first before you, like, I don't know, before you, like, constantly fucking respond to, like, dumb internet slop.
Is not a bad person. He is correct to say that many of the general statements I made about reactors in regards to their motivations probably do not apply to him. This is, of course, the downside of speaking generally. I was at the time very angry. I would hope under better circumstances I would have been willing to admit that Critical's motivations likely differ from others, rather than simply doubling—
Okay, so it was Moist Critical. I mean, I guess that's when people, people are referring to when they say Charlie. I mean, I guess that was obvious.
Down and implying everyone who does React content is the same. It would be more correct to say that all reactors are doing a bad thing, as opposed to all reactors are bad people.
Fine, I'll personally take the L on this then. However, you can't claim someone is maliciously lying for assuming you think that based on the broader context. You said it yourself, you doubled down on it via Twitter, your initial response stream didn't clarify this. In fact, you doubled down.
14-page script explaining why I don't like reactors and I think they're bad people. This is Charlie's—
Even though you've reacted to content yourself, so it's only okay when you do it.
attempt to poison you against a 14-page meticulously written document.
Then you finally clarified it deep into your response video and slightly altered your statement. No one was pulling this out of their ass, okay?
If you don't even know how to win the game, why are you playing?
I do. I'm just sorry.
But again, to pick the low-hanging fruit, Willie just can't describe what's in the clip. I'm banning one person in this clip, not supporters. This clip is 4 years old. I haven't even played Among Us since 2020. Willie, of course, as with all the out-of-context clips that he lies about, just leaves off that detail. It's why all his followers were spamming at me as if this happened yesterday. People were saying, haha, why don't you go play Among Us with Scott? And the joke there is, I did. This controversy, 4 years ago, got resolved very quickly. It is only being brought up again by people like Willie because they have nothing else.
Wrong. I don't care.
Why are you staying in the game? I've never been this mad at a person in the entirety of my life!
I don't give a shit.
I mean, like, in reality, like, if you fucking rage at a video game and you scream at somebody in a video game, like, it's really not that deep, personally. Like, yeah, it's shitty, and that's not good. That's very toxic, but, like, I'm not really shitting my pants over it, personally. Like, it's really not that deep. Like, I mean, yes, Willie Mac may have used that in his, like, Dark Viper coverage. I haven't watched Willie Mac's DarkViperAU coverage, but, like, I just, maybe Willie Mac was trying to make a point that it's, like, trying to develop, like, he was trying to, like, develop a pattern of behavior with DarkViperAU over the years. I don't fucking know, but it's, like, really, I just don't think it's that serious, personally. I'm not really shitting myself over it.
Shit that you reconciled and apologized or whatever. I use it for comedic relief because you screaming over Among Us is really funny to me. It also demonstrates your pattern of irritable behavior. Regardless of whether or not you've apologized, you've done shit like that since. And because you keep doing it, people are gonna keep calling you pathetic. Dang you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, it's not like much has changed from DarkViperAU crashing out over and over and over again, so in a weird, like, I feel like Willie Mac probably brought it up in his video to build the case that it was like, hey, you know, look at this pattern of behavior that Dark Viper has had over the years. That's probably the point that Willie Mac was making, because Willie Mac is not a disingenuous guy. Like, I've seen his videos. He's pretty damn good with his coverage, and he has been good for many, many years, so
I believe that he was mad over Among Us. Can you believe it? Among Us, it's a game, and there are many of them, but he was playing it, he got really mad over the video game. Wow. Wow. Total loser. He was a sassy imposter. He lost. He was a total failure in Among Us. And he was really mad, and he blamed it on his disease. Can you believe it? He blamed it on his disease. They called it Hashimoto's. No one
Is this Cameron's Trump impression?
knows what the hell that is.
Now understand, when I played that...
I don't know, like, my personal opinion, like, I've seen Cameron's content over the years, and I've seen some of the stuff Cameron has said. I know Cameron grew up as, like, a Christian. I think he had mentioned that once. Cameron strikes me as, like, a person who is, like, moderate, but he's more, like, I would say he's a little more conservative leaning. I don't think Cameron is, like, far right. I haven't really gotten the vibe that Cameron's, like, far right, but I definitely could see Cameron being a little bit more conservative leaning, which is fine. Like, I don't agree with it, but, like, you know, if you're, like, a normal conservative guy, like, there's a difference between, like, being normal conservative and then being, like, fucking MAGA, right? Those are two different things.
Clip in my video, I showed the entire thing, the context, that it was clearly a mistake. But other people didn't have this interest. They took this clip and had it as short as possible, often just zooming in onto my webcam to just have me saying the M-word. And Willie, of course, like, yes, this is wonderful. This is adding to discourse. This is amazing. This is exactly what society should be. Because Willie doesn't have any arguments as to why me acting differently would be better for other people.
I mean, you say, like, saying the N-word's not good. Never say the N-word. Hot take. Don't ever do it. But, if it was years ago, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and relitigate it onto you over and over again. And if people are sharing those clips again, all you have to do is be like, oh yeah, that was a thing I said years ago, and I'm not proud of it. I apologize for it, and move on. Never say it again, and that's really all you can do. Like, alright, like, it's not good, but, you know, like, people will be angry about it. It is what it is, but if you don't do it anymore, like, it's not really a condemnation of your whole character.
Well, I showed your gamer moment in my video too, with full context. Again, for comedic relief and to demonstrate one of the clips that you like the DMCA, not to make you look like a dirty racist.
He then says he took down the reaction video, not because of the content, but because it was a reaction video.
This entire time, you've been claiming I took it down because it was a critical video. You've implied all throughout that the critical nature of the video was important. Even in the description, you're like, he took down a critical video of him. Shouldn't you be arguing against this?
Let's play your little game, Matt. Where's the lie? You did take down a critical video of you. Now, as for the idea of you taking down the video because it was critical, I've never personally made this claim. But it sure does look this way based on your previous statements on why you've taken down other videos of you.
But regardless of his degree of sincerity, the false premise of the final section of Willie's video is that I'm constantly sad, I have no friends, I have no family, and I ultimately lead a bad life. This is very obviously untrue. But let's say for a moment that it was true, and Willie actually believed it. What the hell does it say about Willie that he would see a person in those circumstances and not feel any empathy, pity, mercy, or desire to show kindness? Feelings that I have when I see people in such circumstances. Willie instead, when seeing a person in negative circumstances, seems to have the instinct to attack that person and publicly mock their poor fortunes for joy and profits.
Dude. Oh my god, man. Grow up. Seriously, dude, grow the fuck up. These are playground insults. You are crying over playground insults, just like you did in the Cyberboy drama when you cried because apparently he called you autistic.
My less than cordial responses to you.
I mean, you shouldn't call people autistic with like a negative connotation to it. That's not good. Like, it's not good. That's it. Like, I don't really have much else to say beyond that.
Were evidence of my mental illness and autism.
Again, I like get the feeling that like this is so performative what Dark Viper is doing. He's like sighing and he's like fucking like tearing up or whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like doing this whole thing on stream is like part of it's like performance. I feel like part of it could be, there might be like an element of seriousness to it, because obviously like Dark Viper is like sensitive to it, and obviously like he is like getting really upset at it visibly, but like I don't really understand like the point of this like fucking crash out.
Loser! You're a loser! You feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be!
If that kind of shit is—
Oh my god, is he doing like the, what is it? Is it the Beavis and Butthead impression, or is it the Hank Hill impression, or whatever, King of the Hill, whatever?
really affecting you like that, then yeah,
They had like similar animation and I got them confused with each other. I haven't watched either of them though.
kind of sad and pathetic. You act like you ever really show a shred of empathy towards anyone ever criticizing you. Why do you expect the same treatment back? When you banned that speedrunner just because you didn't like him, was that very empathetic of you, dude?
Why must my life suffer? Why must I suffer so with no one caring for so long?
Was it—
no, you're a privileged content creator and you can easily make content, you can easily make money. Like, you're in a actually very privileged position, more than most people would. It's like you have one of the easiest jobs that anyone could have. Yeah, like, content creation is very fucking easy. So, just because people are saying mean things about you on the internet doesn't mean you're not in a privileged position. Like, I don't know, fucking, like, take the time you need to fucking do whatever it is you gotta do to not fucking crash out and get upset so much on the internet. DarkViperAU has just made it worse for himself again and again and again. Like, we have to realize this.
very empathetic to tell your audience to not feel anything at the public assassination of a man who had died a few hours prior? Okay, I'll be honest and say after watching both sides, both had some fair criticism of one another. Maybe I can go into more detail about that on a second channel stream, but overall I think Dark Viper really failed to address the core critiques from Willie and instead attacked more insignificant semantical arguments or editing choices to come to the worst faith conclusion. Oh, shocker, of course, shut up! It had nothing to do with me! You asked for this! So now, after going over what I watched, I can confidently say that I feel pretty fucking vindicated in asking Matt where the lies were. There was only one point that I think I could have done better on, but it was inconsequential to my main criticism in my video where I go after Dark Viper's empathy virtue signal. If anything, you gave me more subject matter to criticize when it comes to the moral posturing.
And that person then concluding they deserve a personal handholding and a personal explanation of my entire life and all the things they got wrong simply because they presented misinformation on the internet. Can you imagine how psychotic, deluded you have to—
Well, if they were lying about you, wouldn't that technically be disinformation? I know it might come across like I'm playing semantics here, but like, again, like this is just another thing that like again, you could just name the actual piece of information that they got wrong, but instead you're not doing that. And the times that you do name that, you just bring up, like, editing choices that, like, are very inconsequential to the entire fucking video. So, like, why... Bro, it's so weird. Like, this is such a weird point.
To think that.
Well, after watching all that shit and barely anything I criticized having been addressed, I feel pretty vindicated in my request.
That's probably needlessly cruel.
Oh, God forbid. No, don't be too cruel to me, Dark Viper.
On some level, I can understand why these people don't know this content exists. It doesn't propagate in the algorithm. It doesn't reach. It doesn't reach these people. It's like these people see it and none of these people do, and it just does nothing.
I can give you a little theory on why this content doesn't propagate in the algorithm. It may be because it's bad content. You repeat yourself constantly, dodge criticism, go over mountains to paint your critics as evil, bad faith, or delusional people, and it can be extremely hard to watch. As a big YouTuber, that you should fucking know that watch time helps videos succeed. Hiding your big rebuttal in 14 hours of content isn't gonna work, especially when you frame critics in the way that you do.
It's really obvious in some cases that they don't know what they're talking about.
If it's really so obvious, would it have been that hard to prove it when I challenged you? Because now we're much deeper into this shit.
My entire life, being a kind, caring, considerate person as a goal. And despite that, I have been an asshole countless times. I have wronged people countless times. I've got things wrong countless times. Why? Because I'm a human being.
Cool. Then you should have no problem being criticized. I won't.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you've gotten things wrong and you know that you're doing better, why do you respond to it so much? Why do you feel the need to talk about it so much online? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares if people are saying bad things about you? You're still gonna have a community. It's not, you're like, when you respond, you're not gonna change their opinion. And you're not, the people that are criticizing you, they're not gonna change your community's opinion on it. Like, people are still gonna watch your streams. People are still gonna stick around. You're still gonna have a platform. Like, stop fucking responding so much. That's been, like, my major criticism that's been overarching in this entire video. This is why Dark Viper is in the position that he's in, is because he fucking talks about this situation so much.
Attack you for things you've taken accountability for, although I may make fun of them. The problem is, you have at many points in time just not taken accountability for shit, or you just repeat the bad behavior after things are all good.
There's two things you can say about me. One, I'm not malicious. And two, I'm really chill.
I'm really chill.
I will not chill!
It's the iDubbbz laugh.
One of the reasons why I so heavily embraced the 14 pages meme when it happened so many years ago, and we made so many memes about it and shit, and we even made the emo and stuff, because I just realized how valuable it was to have a number associated with me and my brand. The amount of money that other brands would pay to have that is astronomical. It just has always sucked that it still has the association with Ethan Klein, and that people lied about it to the degree they think I hate it. So
like, who cares? The problem is, when you play into the 14 pages and you say it's traumatic, like, people know that it's getting to you. But if you play into the meme of the 14 pages thing, half of the controversy gone. Like half of what makes it like a meme is gone. Like, basically, because it doesn't bother you anymore, right? So if you play into it, you pretty much change the definition of it, and you pretty much change the meaning of it into something else. It's the same thing with the Hassan shot caller thing, is that the fact that Hassan had a fucking meltdown because it was the first controversy Hassan got that he couldn't control, and so he had a fucking crybaby meltdown on stream, and then people kept snarking after him with the whole dog collar stuff. People still talk about the Colorgate stuff now and then too, and it did, I will say, it left a dent on Hassan's career, but it was not enough to take him down. Like, he still has a fairly big audience that watches him, so it's not like while it left a dent, it's not like consequential enough to take down his entire career. Like, he's still doing very well.
There are people who spam this, not because they like the meme, not because they find it funny, not because they use it in a way that they think they can craft jokes, as we do, but because they believe they can hurt me with it. I'm reminded each and every day with that meme that there exists a cohort of people that have been so misled, so deluded, that they find personal joy in the idea that they might cause me harm.
You realize that...
I don't really think it's that deep. I feel like a majority of people, and there might be some people on the internet that are psychotic like that, so I'm not saying that's entirely untrue, but, like, I feel like a majority of that statement, like, I want to say, like, maybe 95% of the people don't actually care that much. Like, they make fun of it and then they move on. Like, it's just not that deep. Like, they're not that invested into you.
When you say shit,
like, the internet moves so quickly. Like, they make fun of one thing and then they just move on to the next thing. Now, occasionally you'll get snarkers that, like, constantly go after people again and again and again because they don't really have anything better to do with their life, and that's, like, you know, it is what it is. But, like, the problem is that they're going to keep doing that if you respond to them again and again and again. It's not, like, that's how it keeps going. You shouldn't keep responding to it. That's why you don't give them that fuel.
Like this, you're telling people, this actually does hurt me. Even if you're not hurt by the meme itself or whatever, you saying this shit is the kind of oversharing that feeds the troll, so to speak. He brings up the idea that the meme is associated with Ethan Klein, and because of that, people think he hates the meme. I wanted to take a second to revisit that, because it's one of the whiniest things I've ever seen online.
That very recently I found out that Ethan has something like 6 different sound effects of me on his podcast. Not only that, he has used them frequently for over 2 years. That is just really fucked up.
How is that fucked
How is that fucked up? Like, he's made memes of you. You're a meme. You have, like, memes attached to your brand. Why don't you play into the memes? If anything, Dark Viper, this is a good thing for you, because now this is an opportunity to play into the memes, and if you play into the memes, people will look at that and go, oh, hey, this guy's kind of funny, and you could get more followers. It's good for your brand. Like, I don't know, if anything, like, this is kind of a win. Like, the way I would see it, it's cha-ching, cha-ching, you get so much fucking... Dude, this is an opportunity for you, and you fucking just, like, took it and decided to make a lolcow out of yourself. Like, why?
Up, dude. It's just sound bites, dude. It's not that deep.
He's not using these in, like, a wholesome way. He's using them to mock me as a regular thing for years. I don't know how sick of an individual you have to be to do something like this. Like, if he was using it in some wholesome way or shouting me out in some positive way, fine. But he's just using it to mock me.
How is a joke at your expense sick? How do you say shit like this and wonder why people call you whiny?
It's sad that Ethan Klein's announcement of taking an indefinite break from H3H3 was clickbait. As someone who has been incessantly harassed by him for years in front of thousands, he is one of those truly deserving of being driven off the internet. A bully beloved by bullies.
Oh my god, but so many people really hate Ethan Klein. Jesus Christ.
Harassing you?
14 pages! Because one of my favorite people on the internet, Dark Viper, 14 pages! You remember this guy?
It's Bro, 14 you just
I wrote 14 pages!
Brother, he's poking fun at you. He's not attempting...
You know it's bad when even Hassan and Ethan simultaneously are making fun of you. Now, granted, this is before all the Hassan and Ethan beef happened, before the content nuke and everything, and before leftovers stopped and everything, so this is like before that, but still.
to reach out or get a hold of you, and he's not sending his audience after you. He's doing what you claim your audience does, which is poke fun at your little crash out.
In general, Ethan has never understood the difference between jokes and mockery. He views insults as jokes because he finds joy in hurting others.
I don't think you understand humor, dude. Does Dark Viper not understand humor?
I don't see Ethan as a sadistic person. It's like, again, people really think that Ethan is like this horrible person that's like out to get these people, but it really is, no, it's, I don't know, like Dark Viper, you gave a criticism that people have a misinterpretation of you, but you just misinterpreted Ethan there.
Trying to emotionally, or even in the public eye, claim back this meme.
I'm trying to claim back this meme.
Yes! Yes! Dude, this isn't the N-word. It was never that deep. Most people aren't trying to make you feel bad. You looked ridiculous when you crashed out over that, and the fact you can't play along knowing that is why people think these things about you.
The clips I have here all come from YTKS, which is where you can search a channel for particular words. So this thing isn't perfect. It isn't like it's picked up every single time he's done this.
Wait, he made that compilation? Dude, this guy's fucked.
It's simply that responding to drama videos isn't fun compared to addressing those who are genuine.
So why do you do it then? Why not just make GTA content then? Why not just get your shit together and stop fucking responding to it?
Like even, take for example, I know Ludwig.
Hey guys, if I respond one more time, surely that'll show them. Surely they'll stop making videos on me, and surely they'll stop making more drama videos on me. If I respond just one more time, it'll get them, surely.
This video, or like the whole React thing with Hassan or Ludwig or XUC, all these videos were dumb, like impressively stupid, but they were genuine to a degree. At no point in their speaking did I think they weren't actively communicating what they actually believed, as wrong as it was.
So I'm not genuine, but fucking Ludwig and Hassan Piker are some of the most disingenuous motherfuckers out there. You at least know Hassan is. I've seen you go after him before, but in what world are those two more genuine than me? And even though I disagree with the idea, even if they were more genuine, how at all does that change the validity of my criticism?
That they weren't like in the process of being like, okay, let's have a nice, fair, rational look at the career of DarkViperAU, give a retrospective on all the things he's done. It's just, where can I find things that will be funny, regardless of how untrue?
Oh my god, it's like, it's just the same shit. Let's see what people in his, I haven't actually like read his chat or whatever. Like, what are people in his chat saying? What time will you be doing GTA today? Bro, Dark Viper, you literally have people in your chat saying, what time will you be doing GTA? Your audience is here for GTA, not for drama. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Make content. You have people in your audience that are here for GTA videos and that are here to see you do GTA speedruns. Fucking focus on that. Stop focusing on drama so much if you hate responding to it so much. You have people in your chat that are bored of this drama shit. The more you, like, you're actually gonna, like, hurt yourself on the long run if you keep doing this. Like, people are gonna get disinterested, they're gonna leave, and they're gonna move on to either another GTA speedrunner or another content creator that they enjoy watching. They're not gonna stick around if you keep fucking doing this shit again and again and again.
Because the goal is entertainment. It's not genuine inquiry. It's not learning about me or my stances or things that happen in my life. They don't have a genuine interest in me. They have no fucking idea who I am.
You couldn't be more wrong in your framing of me. While yes, the goal is entertainment, my job is to make my criticism of you entertaining while remaining factual. I wouldn't get away with making shit up, and I have no interest in doing so. I'm also, again, not making a fucking documentary about you. This isn't the story of your life. It's me saying, hey, dipshit, you can be criticized. Learn how to handle criticism without being such a whiny bitch.
Hey, another fucking Rice Gum Content Cop reference. Listen, every time Cameron references an old iDubbbz Content Cop, I'm gonna get all of them. I'm letting you know, I have a good track record. I've watched the iDubbbz Content Cops more times than I can count. I actually, there was once upon a time where I used to be an iDubbbz fan. He was one of my favorite content creators for a while in, like, high school. And seeing him just turn into, like, an absolute fucking lol cow over the past few years. Like, I've been super charitable to Ian. And then he just, like, kept looking for good boy points, and then he just turned into a lol cow. And so I just, like, fucking, I tapped out the moment he made his Ethan Klein hit piece, because that was the moment I realized, yeah, I just can't sit here and be charitable to iDubbbz anymore. Because, like, he just, like, made a hit piece on Ethan that was, like, uber bad faith.
In this next clip, he gives himself a little leeway into why he's so wrong, and why he's been mischaracterizing me in his responses.
Usually, someone else will bring up that a drama video exists, and I'll say, can you watch it and tell me if there's anything new or important or interesting that I haven't seen 1,000 times before? And the answer is always no.
Well, someone lied to you, because the entire premise of my video wasn't even a point of contention when all your previous drama videos were released. Right after he all but confirms that he did click on my video to look in the description.
Like, sometimes I will not watch the drama videos, but I will just look in the comment, like in the description. In the rare times that they link other videos, that they've used as sources, I'm like, seen it, 100% wrong, seen it, 100% wrong. Wow, how did this fucking dumbass not realize that everything in that video was false?
Dude, look at his smug little fucking face.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that, dude. It's just like he thinks he's so smug, but you could tell that he's so upset by like videos being made on him. That's literally all this communicates to us as.
He thinks he just hit a haymaker on me, bruh. Oh shit, you really got me there, didn't you? You're right, how did I not realize that? How? How did I realize that? Fuck! Fuck, damn it! Fuck! Damn it! So let me answer your question. How? Because I didn't use them as sources for my script. I referenced—
Whoa! Don't say that word, Cameron. That's a bad word.
Them as a way to quickly bring up that these controversies happen. I never said I agreed with anything in those videos. In fact, I even said that Charlie got shit wrong in the video I linked, but I referenced it for context. How can you be so confident yet so wrong about what you're talking about? It's great.
But drama creators aren't pathetically smart people. Okay, I gotta stop speaking like that. I'm 34. Like, I was also a dumbass in my early 20s. I was overconfident in my 20s. I thought I understood everything in my early 20s. I can't really blame people who are that age for feeling the same way. But it's annoying being in your 30s, looking at these fucking kids, not understanding that they do not understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Wow.
Oh my god. You can tell, like, his chat is just so, like, I'm, like, briefly reading DarkViperAU's chat. Like, look at this. Like, literally, his chat is so disinterested in everything. I'll just turn this off. GG's, I'm gonna go watch something else and put myself to sleep. Everyone loving Lock It. I'm gonna watch something else to put myself— Dark Viper, you have people in your chat that are leaving! You have people in your chat that are so disinterested in all this fucking crash out that you're having that they're gonna watch something else. Oh my fucking god. You are driving people in your own audience away! That's how much you respond to this dumb bullshit. People know that, like, the shit that you respond to is just not worth it. Oh my fucking god, dude. It's so, like, even people in Dark Viper's community realize that he crashes out way too fucking much. You know it's problematic when your own fucking community and your own audience disagrees with you.
Being in your 30s, looking at these fucking kids, not understanding that they do not understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Wow, excellent anti-insult. Patronize me because I'm a big tart in my early 20s instead of—
Cameron, don't say that.
Engaging with my criticism. That'll surely show people how superior your ideas are to mine. Him going after my age is particularly funny to me, as when I was subjecting myself to tens of hours of Dark Viper content, I keenly identified a moment where Dark Viper attacked Chud Logic for being too old.
I'm a total maniac! Ah!
This is a grown-ass man.
An interesting fact I just learned about Chud Logic is that he is 38 years old. Let that sink in. Look at how Chud acts as a person on a date.
I mean, okay. Chud Logic is like a 38-year-old. I don't know. Like, listen, I don't engage with Chud's content because I think he's, like, a bit too edgy. But he is kind of, like, again, when he actually does give, like, a legitimate point, I've seen him be normal about topics before, but he is a little bit, like, too edgy when he engages with certain things.
Today, what kind of content he makes. Who is 38 years old, so invested in YouTube drama?
I mean, that's just the content that he makes. I mean, Papa Gut's 35 years old, and he's invested in YouTube slop. It's a guilty pleasure. He loves it. We all love slop.
Oh, God.
And I guess Dark Viper really enjoys it, too, because he keeps fucking responding to drama as a 34-year-old man.
Forbid.
It is wild to me how many people put forth this idea that in my private life, I'm yelling and screaming and ranting and raving.
I really don't blame people for coming to that conclusion, given how much you crash out in your online life.
I've never heard that, and I've also never said that. But at the same token, you don't do yourself any favors.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying!
You guys who exist in here mainly, you have no conception of how batshit crazy and dumb and deluded the people over here are.
Ah, beautiful execution of well poisoning. Don't watch these people, they're crazy. No wonder you have so many blind defenders.
But even those who watch this one, they're not gonna watch it again. If Winnie Maxwell's face has changed for the next dude, it's not going to change the content of the video. It's going to be the exact same explanations again.
First off, why should I have to watch 10 hours of content in order to have the right to criticize you for something else? Secondly, how the fuck would you even know if you don't watch drama videos like you claim?
If you're...
Yeah, I mean, it's another thing where it's like, he claims that they got information wrong, but he refuses to watch it, and he refuses to point out exactly where they got the information wrong. And yet he still chooses to respond to it in this, like, cowardly way, because he wants to... I don't know, man. It's like, I could be adding, like, new information, but it's just like, it's the same thing over and over again.
Baseline of information you already know is effectively nothing. Your ability to suss out bullshit what you're watching is effectively non-existent, right? You don't know what you don't know.
Huh. Can't this same principle be applied to you right now? You've spent so much time talking about a video you claim to have not watched and are making baseless claims about it. But Cameron, the video is about him. Of course he knows what it's about. Clearly.
It's so... Every time I, like, listen to Cameron doing that, like, imitation voice of the old iDubbbz content cops, it's actually fucking, like, scary how, like, accurate it is. I think I heard Cameron on Alex the Fiction show, like, he gave, like, an insight for this, where he was, like, basically saying, that, like, he would just do it even before he made content cop videos. Like, he would just do it on his spare time. He would just imitate it on, like, Discord calls or, like, to himself or whatever. And I guess he got so good at it to the point where he just, like, did it effortlessly in these videos.
Response was awful. He acts like a victim while also acting too high and mighty to respond to criticism he doesn't even know about. Maybe that has a part in why the edited VOD was made members only and the tweet was deleted. Because I'm nice, I won't pull a Dark Viper and force him to watch an hour's worth of my content just to hear my actual criticism. And thanks to these awful responses and 2 new dramas that he got himself into, I actually have even more criticism to add to the pile that, again, hasn't been covered by those pesky drama creators. I am, of course, talking about Cyberboy and TGG, and naturally, as the unfair, bad faith, malicious drama creator I am, I actually side with Matt on some of this shit. It may not be obvious at first, but in a hilarious turn of events, both of these controversies relate to my exact critiques towards Dark Viper's shitty behavior and moral posturing. And hey, Dark Viper, we can still shit on the quartering together while we're at it. At least we have that in common.
I'm dying. Oh, I mean, the quartering is literally just a fucking, like, anti-SJW SJW. Like, he's just another side of the same coin. He's also, like, super MAGA. Though, to be fair, he has been criticizing Trump for, like, the Epstein files stuff as well. So I guess, like, I don't know, I guess maybe he's not as MAGA as I thought. But then again, like, other people in MAGA were criticizing Trump for the Epstein shit as well. So I guess, I don't know.
First, Cyberboy. So a little before I dropped my content cop, a smaller British GTA creator known as Cyberboy committed the crime of publicly criticizing Dark Viper after years of glazing and defending him. When I first made my video, I saw this going on in the background and thought it was a bit shitty of Matt to be publicly and loudly beefing with a much smaller creator, even after he seemingly apologized. However, I was open to being wrong since I didn't know the ins and outs, and I said that myself. Now, I don't really know the ins and outs of this situation, and to be very clear, I'm not saying Dark Viper is responsible for this kid's mental state, and I don't know and frankly don't care who is or isn't in the right. I just think it's incredibly shitty of Dark Viper to constantly scream and whine and play victim against critics while he can be as aggressive as he wants without anyone being allowed to respond. Now that I've looked into it, I can finally give my take on it. Ironically, the basis of Cyberboy's initial criticism of Dark Viper is very similar to one of the main points I made in my content cop. The only difference being that Cyberboy did a god-awful job presenting the criticism and couldn't be fucked to prove his point with evidence, therefore putting himself in a horrible situation. While I think Cyberboy's first video comes off as reasonable, it fails to show evidence proving Dark Viper wrong.
I hold the stance that if you're going to voice an opinion on social media and you're going to share links and photographs of articles and documents, you should at least make sure those articles and documents are truthful and the information that you're reporting on is entirely correct. Now, in the case of Dark Viper, he weighed in his comments on this whole Charlie Kirk situation, and like I said, he's entitled to his opinion, but I do think that there has to be some sort of social and moral accountability for pushing information that's false to the public. For example...
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, listen, like, I think that it's okay to not care about Charlie Kirk's death. Like, just because Charlie Kirk died doesn't mean he's immune to criticism. Like, people will be like, oh my god, you're shitting on a man's death for simply criticizing Charlie Kirk after his death. Like, we have to remember, Charlie Kirk was not a good person. Like, this is the same guy who says that if a black person is piloting an airplane, that everybody else on that plane is in danger, and that, like, we should bring back slavery, we should bring back public executions, that if a 12-year-old gets pregnant, that she should be forced to carry that child. Which is like a form of religious psychosis. Like, Charlie Kirk was not a good person. He was also responsible for radicalizing a bunch of really young people into becoming, like, super far right. So, like, we have to remember, like, Charlie Kirk wasn't a good guy. Again, what happened to him was fucking terrible. And I think that probably the person who murdered Charlie Kirk should get capital punishment, more than likely. Like, because that's fucking terrible. We should not be normalizing political assassinations. But also, again, Charlie Kirk's not immune to criticism just because he died. And that's really it.
This whole narrative about how Charlie Kirk wasn't able to be empathetic or sympathetic to people was all based on a statement that's been taken vastly out of context.
Oh yeah, I do remember that was like a clip that people took out of context, yeah.
It also fails to show the context of several Twitter DMs where he had several opportunities to prove Dark Viper wrong. It wasn't that hard to prove. I did it in my original. Here's the timestamp. You can check it out in the description. Then Cyberboy drops another video saying he's being pressured to remove his video by Dark Viper. He says he's worried that Dark Viper will kill his career, expresses that he can't handle the pressure due to his dad's cancer battle, tries apologizing for the way he handled the situation, and then decides to falsely claim that Dark Viper leaked his dad's cancer treatment.
My father was going in for his cancer treatment, which, by the way, wasn't public knowledge, but you've now shared that all over your YouTube, so I'm trying not to get sarky and antagonistic, but fuck you.
I can be charitable to Cyberboy and say I totally understand and sympathize with what he's feeling with his dad's cancer, but doing this kind of shit is fucked up, and there's
no, not really. Like, if that's information he wanted to keep private, if he said fuck you online, like, yeah, that's I feel like that's a justified crash out. If, like, DarkViperAU leaked that, I think that's kind of shitty, especially considering that it seemed like Dark Viper knew that, like, Cyberboy wanted to keep that, like, private. So I feel like that's a justified crash out.
No way around it. It's emotional manipulation, and it's just fucked up. So finally, after 4 days of this shit, now the situation being far away from the initial point of contention, Dark Viper responds and proves that Cyberboy lied about the claim that Dark Viper was leaking information about his father's illness.
He pretended that I leaked that his father was dying. He made this false claim in the hopes of distracting his viewers from finding out about the horrible shit that he did.
Oh my god, did he respond to drama again? Oh my god. Come on! Why? I'm like, my soul hurts. My soul fucking hurts with the amount of times he has to fucking feels like he has to respond to drama. It actually hurts. Like, so many situations that Dark Viper has been in could have been easily salvageable, but he just continues to feel the need to respond because it very obviously upsets him.
Really shitty lie, because a month ago he made a video dedicated to revealing that.
I actually went into hospital to visit my dad. And whilst I was in hospital with my dad, all I will say is my dad's got an illness. It's not curable. It's quite serious. It's something that I'm dealing with.
I'm gonna briefly run through the rest of this because it gets repetitive, but Dark Viper's title and thumbnail imply that Cyberboy is lying about his dad's cancer, which is kind of...
Oh, that's shitty. To say that, like, fucking Cyberboy is lying about his dad's cancer, that's a really serious thing to accuse somebody of. Like, that's kind of fucked up.
Fucked, and he did end up changing it. And his video response and subsequent stream, he claims Cyberboy lied about the nature of the DMs, points out Cyberboy's narrative shift, and does his usual ranting and rambling. So in response, Cyberboy drops 2 videos where he concedes and apologizes to what he thinks Dark Viper wants him to, and is brought to tears as he begs for Dark Viper's fanbase to leave him alone.
I wrongly mislabeled Dark Viper's stance of accusing people of being racist, and I made an honest mistake. And I am sorry. I am sorry for the way I've handled it.
That's kind of pathetic. I don't know. Like, you're the one that decided to engage in YouTube drama. Like, you don't have to make a video of yourself crying online. I feel like that's kind of pathetic. Like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. Like, maybe they are legitimate tears, but, like, it's like, I don't know, anytime somebody, like, turns on a camera and, like, goes on stream or goes on a video and they, like, cry, like, it can be authentic, but I tend to roll my eyes a lot because it's like, I don't know, you have time off stream to fucking do that shit. You don't have to fucking do it on camera. It's like you decided to stick your head into, like, the commentary sphere. You're the one that decided to stick your head into, like, the drama sphere. Like, you decided to make a video on DarkViperAU and, like, I guess you got fans harassing you or whatever. Okay, you're a content creator. Deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not really sure what other response I'm supposed to have. Like, it's fucked up that Dark Viper insinuated that you lied about your dad's cancer, but it's like, I don't know, stand on that shit, dude. Do it for your dad. I don't fucking know. Like, don't fucking cave into the audience. Like, you're a content creator.
This is
ridiculous. Oh my god.
This shit's fucking gay. However,
okay, I wouldn't have described it quite like that, Cameron, but yeah, I do agree it's a little pathetic.
Apparently the apology wasn't good enough because it resulted in a generational fucking crash out.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying! What is wrong with you? Like, every single thing in this fucking video, your newest video is a lie! All I said, I just want you to acknowledge what you did and apologize! I spent 4 days of my life trying to get you to do that, and at every fucking turn, you said, no, fuck you! You wouldn't even acknowledge what I wanted you to apologize for, even in this fucking video! You still would not acknowledge what I wanted to apologize for!
Sir, how long have you had a hemorrhoid for?
4 days!
Okay. Okay, dude.
And when I finally go, well, I have to go to this public, I make one fucking video, one live stream, doing the horrible things you did, and now I'm harassing you?
What's my take on all of this? While there are a ton of things I can and will criticize Dark Viper for during this 4-hour stream about Cyberboy, on principle, I have to side with Dark Viper. Cyberboy undoubtedly lied on multiple occasions and handled the situation awfully despite coming in with valid criticism. Don't get
I mean, did he though? Like, did he really lie? I don't think he lied about his dad having fucking cancer though. He just said that his dad had an illness. That's not really, like, a lie, or necessarily. Based on the information you literally just showed us. And, like, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, like, when you talked about the Charlie Kirk thing, like, yeah, that clip was taken out of context, even though Charlie Kirk's not a good person. Is that, like, did I, like, miss the point on something completely? Did I, like... Because, like, I didn't detect any fucking lies whatsoever. I don't know, man. There might have been a point that I missed somewhere in that, but, like, I don't know. I'm so confused on that now. Did he actually... I don't know. I'm confused now.
Be wrong.
Because I wasn't under the impression that Cyber lied. And, like, again, making a video of yourself crying online is, like, fucking weird, dude.
Dark Viper handled shit like a total baby as per usual, but because of Cyberboy's behavior, he ended up on top. There are some things that are important to take
Well, yeah, because he responded fucking crying and caving into, like, Dark Viper's audience.
from this, but I'll come back to that after covering the TGG stuff. Total gamer girl. Haha, got him. Dark Viper's ability to make grown men cry strikes again, this time with his longtime friend and podcast co-host, TGG. For context, as we discussed in my content cop, Dark Viper AU sometimes likes to get political on Twitter, and as we criticized last time, he made some really untimely virtue signaling tweets hours after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. On top
Was he virtue signaling? He might have been. I don't fucking know.
of that, Dark Viper goes on for days defending his point despite acknowledging the fact that it was a bad idea, and even defends it in a YouTube video after harassment from people like the Quartering. And again, I'll echo what I said in my content cop, Dark Viper, you reap what you sow. During this, TGG reaches out in private and asks him to stop. Shortly after, TGG asks to pause the podcast and cancel the
Pause! Okay.
pack slot because
Stoic.
of the negative PR Dark Viper is drawing towards himself by acting this way.
I don't feel comfortable sharing a business or a podcast with someone who is getting involved in a drama and politics environment semi-regularly. I want to make GTA videos. I do not give an F about politics. Quite honestly, I do not care.
Dark Viper seems fine with this whole thing, but that's where it gets kind of dicey because TGG claims that in his heart, this was kind of it for him.
See, in my mind, when I canceled the PAX podcast with Matt, mentally, I had already canceled the podcast permanently. Like that, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. The reality is no. I don't think I actually explained that clearly enough.
But he didn't make that very clear to Matt, who thought this only meant skipping the PAX podcast.
Bro, why are so many people getting, like, teary-eyed around Dark Viper AU? Like, I'm not trying to be a mean person, but Dark Viper AU is not somebody I'd be friends with. Just because of, like, the amount of times. Like, I feel like he's just a lost cause. It's like he is unable to help himself, and he just fucking crashes out so much, and it's just unpleasant for a lot of... He would be unpleasant for a lot of people to hang around so much, and so, like, I just... Like, he's not somebody I would personally be friends with.
And in private did...
Then again, I'm not personally friends with a lot of people. I tend to keep my circle very tight-knit these days, because fuck people, am I right?
Communicate as if things were going to continue. Dark Viper did agree that they would be allowed to publicly and honestly discuss the PAX slot being canceled. Then, in October, TGG let Matt know that he wanted to end the podcast over wanting to steer clear of drama and politics. And Matt really doesn't like this.
TG had also finally come clean and told me he was ending the podcast, and we had an argument over it. This concluded by me saying, I just cared a lot about you, but you can never be straight with me. You say and do cruel things, and then when I say this hurt me, you berate me and call me a fool for feeling hurt at what you've done. You never apologize, you never concede. You just demand I accept that you actually really care a lot, despite that you continuously say and do cruel things. You demand unfailing belief and call it absurd that I asked to be convinced of anything.
Then TGG makes the podcast cancellation public in a Twitter reply, which infuriates Matt.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. You don't need to reply to every comment. You've gone into drama with a dozen creators over the years for this damn reason. Delete your tweets, let them talk. Stop talking publicly, you moron. I can leave a dozen times you've called out creators on Twitter. You have no concept of how many requests I've had over the years for me to defend you because of shit you said or did. So he says,
Wait. Is that something... Is he reading something that he said to you? Where is he reading that? Wait, is it... Oh my god, this is Dark Viper saying this to TGG? Oh my god, shut the fuck up. You don't need to reply to every single comment. This is so ironic coming from Dark Viper, considering the fact that he responds to every single fucking drama video made about him. This is so... Like, Dark Viper AU is getting massive cognitive dissonance from this fucking message to TGG.
Your tweets, let them talk. Stop talking publicly, you moron. I can leave a dozen times you've called out creators on Twitter. You have no concept of how many requests I've had over the years for me to defend you because of the shit you said or did. So he says, that tweet is pretty fair, no? Which I said, you seem peacefully delusional about everything. You don't understand what's fair. Just shut up. You exist in a fantasy world. Stop typing. Delete. I don't want drama. Look, man, I'm streaming tonight. I'll be asked about it. I made it very clear that I don't want people to attack you, but I want to explain why I ended the podcast. Which I said, stop trying to always fucking do instant drama. Say nothing. What excuses you want me publicly to defend your brand are not my concern. You're always...
That's so funny. It's like, this is so ironic. Like, of all people to give this advice, Dark Viper AU is the person that should be giving it the least.
Done this. This is what is best for everyone and what's best for your brand, and you can barely even fathom the first. Fuck me right. You call yourself Marshall, but does it even exist? You remember being something other than TGG. I'm sorry, dude, I'm very confused about what's happening right now. Delete your tweets, shut the fuck up. Never mention me again. I don't exist. Ignore comments about me. If there was even shreds and selling anything you ever said, delete your tweets and shut up. Which he says, honestly, I'm not sure that I can completely ignore what will be thousands of comments and messages. We had 33k subs. We should at least let them know that it's ended. I won't respond to threats, man. My tweet was honest. Threats? I kinda said he's not gonna delete them. JG clocked from a mile away. How was I so blind to who you are?
This all blew up in a huge drama mess with Dark Viper using his engagement as clickbait for his drama response.
Dark Viper using TGG's engagement. Oh my god, he's doing the same thing he did with Cyberboy.
TGG kept trying to apologize for his perceived wrongdoings, and yet again, Dark Viper refused to de-escalate. One thing that really stuck out to me that TGG claimed happened, and Dark Viper corroborates but tries to say, oh, we were both in on it, is this notion that friends are making sacrifices for each other, and that TGG hasn't made enough sacrifices.
Matt said that one of the main parts of friendship, in his opinion, is that friends should make sacrifices for each other. And as a result, Matt wanted me to make a sacrifice for him. This may be hard for some people to believe, but this is true. And it goes against multiple statements of Matt saying that he never expected me to publicly get involved, because he did, and I'm going to explain that now. Matt wanted me to make a sacrifice for our friendship to prove my loyalty as a friend to him. He said that in order to prove that I am a real friend and that I don't just care about my brand, he publicly wanted me to sacrifice and put my brand at risk for him.
Oh my God, that's definitely not what a real friend does.
What he wanted was for me to make a public tweet saying Matt was...
See, having a big heart will weigh you down. This is why you don't get too close to a lot of people these days. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking black-pilled. Maybe I'm just, like, nihilistic. I don't want to say I'm nihilistic, actually. Never mind. Like, being nihilistic, that's, like, a bit of an exaggeration. But, like, I certainly feel like, you know, it's just not worth fucking sacrificing shit for yourself for other people. Like, friends should be there for each other, I agree, but, like, they shouldn't have to sacrifice so fucking much. I feel like Dark Viper is, like, taking that way too literally.
Right, and that Cyberboy...
Like, you should only sacrifice up to a point. You shouldn't sacrifice if it's gonna, like, take a big chunk out of your life to be there, or whatever.
Wrong about
it's the same logic with relationships, too. Like, yes, relationships require sacrifice, but you shouldn't have to fucking destroy your life for them. They should be an addition to your life.
Again,
Same with friendships.
Don't think I've ever been emotionally manipulated more than that.
And again, the thing he's calling emotionally abusive, in text he's saying it's just a normal thing that...
He said emotionally manipulative. That is a different thing than saying emotionally abusive. It's a little bit disingenuous on Dark Viper's part.
This is weird, manipulative. It sounds like fucking hazing in a fraternity, okay? It's weird, they have conflicting statements on it. If this is true, and Dark Viper, you're really saying this shit to your best friend, you are duplicitous and manipulative as fuck. In this situation, I overall feel bad for TGG, as I don't blame him for wanting to disassociate. DarkViperAU...
I don't blame him either. It seems like Dark Viper is just not a good friend. He also just seems like a really fucking insane person to be around. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, Dark Viper is just, like, he just seems like a very unpleasant person in general, and he's kind of just a lost cause. I would give up on him.
And seem like a ticking time bomb that will explode and become an optics nightmare at any moment. His promise of, I don't want to get into any more drama, was broken ironically over the podcast ending, and the way he frames the situation in his responses comes off as really malicious. Something I thought was really interesting and notable was the fact that both Cyberboy and TGG claimed in one of their responses that GTA YouTubers were encouraging them to go after Matt.
What's the likelihood that 9,000 people saw my video and 10,000 unsubscribed to you because of it? No. You're driving your channel into the ground, and every other Grand Theft Auto creator has managed to message me and condemn what you're doing.
Also, before we end the video, I want to give a massive...
I really don't know why the fuck Cyberboy had to cry in his video. It's like, fucking stand on your shit, dude. Keep fighting it. If you're gonna fucking make a claim, why don't you stand in it? Or at least, if you got something wrong, admit that you got it wrong. I don't fucking know.
Thank you.
Like, don't fucking film a video of yourself crying online. It's, like, kind of, like, pathetic.
Not just to the viewers of this channel, but all of the other GTA creators in the community who have reached out to me. I was absolutely shocked reading all of the messages I got from creators big and small, even creators bigger than me.
I don't know what this entails, but I just found that really interesting.
It's interesting. Interesting, as Cruel World Happy Mind would say. All right, this part of the video I think I'll watch on normal speed. I know I've watched it on 1.35 times speed, but I think we'll just watch the conclusion normally.
Face ass wipe looking like they just had a gyna.
To wrap up today's video, I think it's important to show DarkViperAU's pattern of behavior when it comes to dealing with controversy. I'm not here to relitigate it or spread lies, as he likes to say, since he's made peace with some of these people.
I mean, you have said a couple of things that I disagree with, but aside from that, this video is fine, you know? I would say that this video is probably not Cameron's best work. I'd say my favorite one is probably the Ludwig content cop. Maybe the iDubbbz content cop, honestly. Like, the iDubbbz stuff and the Ludwig stuff was pretty good. The DarkViperAU stuff was, like, kind of, like, whatever. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't, like, my favorite work from Cameron. I think if there's, like, that reminds me, I should, one piece of advice I would give to Cameron if he's ever watching this, which he's probably not going to watch this, but if you are watching this, Cameron, if you are listening to this, one piece of advice I would give going forward with these content cops is you should definitely, I would say, take more risks. Because a lot of the content cops, the pattern that Cameron is going to fall into is that he's going to play it safe like iDubbbz did, where iDubbbz, for the most part, when he was making content cops, were doing slam dunks. The most risky content cop that iDubbbz has ever done, I would say, is the Leafy is Here content cop, without a shadow of a fucking doubt. And that wound up being, like, the content cop that put iDubbbz on the radar. That was the first content cop that I watched, was the Leafy is Here content cop that iDubbbz made back in late 2016. So I think Cameron should, my recommendation is make a content cop on Asmongold. That's a very risky thing to do, but you could do one on that. There's a couple of other content creators I have in mind that you could definitely make content cops on that make really, like, heinous content. Like, I don't know, fucking, well, not heinous. Heinous is an exaggeration. I don't know, do one on, like, Queeman or something. Because, like, he sensationalizes the fuck out of all of his videos. I don't know. Do, like, a very risky content cop. Because I feel like that could do well. Not to say that your other videos don't do well, but, like, I feel like some of the best videos that are made are when you take risks. Like, DarkViperAU is kind of a slam dunk. Ludwig is, I would say no one has really made videos criticizing Ludwig too much. So that was kind of a risk. iDubbbz is like kind of a slam dunk because he's a lolcow. And so like I feel like you should try to take more risks with your content cops in the future. It could be on anyone you want, but like it definitely I feel like it would benefit you to not do slam dunks so much. That would be like one thing I would say to not fall into that same trap that iDubbbz did.
But I think it's very emblematic of why his reputation has sunk the way it has and why he seems to be able to get away with it in his community, but nowhere else. It's a self-inflicted cycle that's as predictable as a GTA speedrun glitch. He gets a hemorrhoid over a perceived adversary, lashes out publicly or privately. Sometimes it'll be a multi-hour stream, long essays on his Twitter/community tab or in DMs, and other times it'll be an attempted expose. He does this all while acting like the biggest victim.
Why must my life suffer? Why must I suffer so with no one caring for so long?
Because you don't do anything to fucking get your shit together, and so it's hard to feel bad for you when you're constantly responding to drama and being like super terminally online. Like I said, I think DarkViper is just like super sheltered, and like he's been kind of sheltered like his whole life, and so he feels like it matters more than it actually does.
He'll claim lies or that he's being harassed, and guess what?
Yeah, I feel like he does it to himself a lot, more than anything, and it really is just like tough to watch him from that.
Addo, welcome to the internet. We all get shit. Nobody cares. You reap what you sow. Sometimes he'll retreat after realizing what he's done and make amends, but then claim victory. I wouldn't be shocked if Charlie just didn't want to deal with the immovable object and conceded. Other times he will delete his videos and frame his critics as delusional people working together as if it's some fucking grand conspiracy. And if it's someone he can manipulate or in a space where he has some pull, he will overwhelm things until they fold.
Please stop lying!
I could go into this further, but covering his situations with Rydog, Friendly Baron, Unnamed Charlie, Willie Mac Show, Judd Logic, Cyberboy, Cameron F. Piker, Asmongold, Ludwig has either already been done before.
You should definitely do a content cop on Asmongold. Like, absolutely. Like, I feel like if anyone online deserves it more, it's Asmongold. Like, Asmongold I feel like at this point, I've been criticizing Asmongold a lot more than I've been criticizing Hassan, because Asmongold is just not a good person. Like, he is given... Like, I think Asmongold's very harmful to the actual discourse when it comes to politics, and for some reason, people take him fucking seriously, even though he has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. Like, Asmongold will say one thing, and he'll forget that thing 15 seconds later, and then say another thing that completely contradicts the thing that he just said. Like, he has goldfish brain. He has brain fog. And that's, like, a real thing. Anyway, we don't have to get into, like, the whole Asmongold criticism, but if there is somebody I want a content cop on more than anyone, it's Asmongold.
Will be done by someone with more time on their hands. As I stated earlier, this isn't a documentary. In DarkViper's response stream, he talked about the futility of responding to drama, and to a certain extent, I agree. The problem, DarkViper, is that your response videos suck. You avoid addressing the points actually brought up, and I think you have it in you. You're always touting your degrees and shit. Use it to improve your content instead of finding psychological loopholes to avoid criticism. With all of this in mind, I can only come to one overwhelming conclusion.
The video is effectively DarkViperAU fucked the Loch Ness Monster and made 15 half Loch Ness Monster children. DarkViper fucked...
Damn.
the Loch Ness Monster. DarkViper fucked the Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness Monster hot.
I guess he finds the Loch Ness Monster attractive.
DarkViper did fuck the Loch Ness Monster.
It certainly was 14 crash outs. Yeah, another Cameron F305 banger.